What if there was something out there that genuinely was so good, that you would actually turn your life inside out to get more of it? There was something out there that was so good that you would reorient everything about yourself. You would reprioritize everything that you're doing so that you could experience it more fully. And what if I told you that it wasn't a thing that you could acquire, but it was actually life itself? That there is a life out there, an entirely different life that you could be living that's so good that you couldn't even imagine how good it is. Would that get your attention? I hope it will. It's the life that you're chasing whenever you're chasing after something. Like whenever you're chasing after that next promotion, and you're trying to get more money, and you want to get more power, and you want to increase your influence, and whenever you're chasing after something the world has to offer, it's the life you actually need when you're chasing after those wants. It's greater than all of those things, and best of all, it's free. Now, what if I told you that it's the life that's already available to you? In fact, it's something that Jesus is offering to people. He's offered it for the last 2,000 years, and he's offering it to you today. It's not something you can earn, it's not something you can acquire, but it's something he's inviting you to. It's the life you never knew you needed. And here's what I know. For some of us, you hear about that life with God, and just right off the bat, you don't get it. You don't see the appeal. Man, why would I want to surrender something in my life and go get something else? You know, how could life with God even be that good? And I understand that, because I think every single one of us, maybe at a time, felt that way. But I can tell you from experience, the life that Jesus has to offer, as soon as you taste it, man, you'll never want to live apart from it. We're going to read about it today from the words of Jesus himself. John chapter 10, verse 10 is where we're going to start. We're going to read his words, and we're going to hear his invitation to this life that's better than life. Maybe today you're someone who you already know Jesus. You've been following him, and you would say, you know what, I'm experiencing the life he has for me. And if that's you, I hope today that you gain a greater appreciation for the life that Jesus has given you. And I hope that you feel compelled to share that with someone else and invite them to experience it themselves. Maybe today you're already a follower of Jesus, but you would say, you know what? My life does not represent anything close to what you're talking about right now. I know Jesus. I know I've been forgiven. I know I have a relationship with him, but I am not experiencing a great life right now. And if that's you, I hope through our time together that you'll begin to experience the life he wants for you more fully. And finally, maybe you're someone here today and you don't know Jesus. Maybe you're not really interested in Jesus. Maybe someone invited you here, or you got dragged along, or you came, but you're just like, I don't know what it means to follow God. If that's you, my hope is that you will hear today clearly the invitation of Jesus, and that you will have an openness in your heart to receive that invitation into your life. That's my prayer for you, at least. So we're going to be in John 10:10. And here's some of the context of this passage. Jesus was in a conversation with the religious leaders of the day, and he really begins talking about leadership, what it means to lead God's people. And he uses the picture for them of sheep and a shepherd. And here's one thing if you know anything about sheep, it's that sheep need a shepherd. Sheep need a leader. Sheep are creatures that are incredibly vulnerable to attack. They can't defend themselves. They can't run fast enough to get away. And so they need someone to protect them. And sheep also are creatures that really don't know where they're going on their own. They usually wander off, and they get lost, and they don't know how to provide for themselves. And so not only do they need a protector, they need a provider. And Jesus was calling out the religious leaders of the day, saying, you have not been good shepherds to God's flock. When he says sheep, he's referring to God's people. That's language that gets used all throughout the Bible. And he begins to share here in the chapter we're about to read about how he is the good shepherd for God's people. And that's gonna help us understand more about this life that he offers to us. Let's read the passage together. John 10:10, Jesus says this. He says, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. But I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." What's he telling us here? Well, let's use his own words. Jesus came to bring us life. He came to bring us life. That's why he came. He said it himself. I don't know what your thoughts would be on why Jesus came. Maybe you believed that Jesus came to condemn the world, to let the world know how wrong they are and how much they need someone to fix them. Maybe you thought Jesus came to rule the world and he came to take over. Maybe you're not sure why Jesus came. Well, he said it himself. He came, why? To bring us life. He came to bring life. But he tells us there's another player here. He says, I came to bring them life, but there's a thief. And the thief has come to steal, kill, and destroy. And so this is the reality every single one of us are living in. Let's not miss this today, that there is a battle raging. And while there is God who wants to give you life, there is an enemy. The Bible gives him the name Satan, and he wants to steal, kill, and destroy your life. He wants you to miss out on the life that God has for you. He wants to rip you off, and he wants to make sure you don't experience it. And here's one of his greatest strategies, one of his greatest techniques. If he could just convince you that life with God isn't really all that it's cut out to be, pretty much all of his job is done. If he could just help you believe the lie, and he is a liar, that life with God really isn't that great, and it's actually kind of boring, and you're gonna miss out on a ton of fun, and God actually just wants to ruin your fun, and he's gonna take things with you, and you're gonna regret it if you follow him. If he could convince you of those lies, it's like his job is done, and he's gonna completely remove any of your effectiveness in life and some of your satisfaction in life, and all that will just be taken away by that simple lie that life with God isn't as good as God makes it out to be. Jesus doesn't want you to believe that lie, and neither do I. I want you to get everything that God is offering to you. Imagine a life today that's better than the best life you could come up with. That's the life Jesus wants you to have. The invitation is out. Will you accept it? I hope that you will.